What's up, YouTube? This is Dave's Had Enough 187. This is a video to do with a response to 1Stop4Gamers. On his latest video, Xbox One breaking fucking games now. The Xbox is dog shit. Real talk. And another video from Dave. And yeah, pretty much I just want to do a quick response to 1Stop4Gamers. I did a bunch of responses to Real Gamer 2. Not a bunch, but, you know, I don't know why I said that. But I'm tired, it's late at night. But I do want to give a quick response to 1Stop4Gamers. He did a great video on the Xbox One recently with the whole thing with The Witcher 3 being broken. But in the beginning of his video, he pointed out that he watched one of BearHugger29, shout out to BearHugger29, great YouTuber, on one of his buddies' podcasts. He tried to, you know, put himself through one of his friends' podcasts. You know, I understand where 1Stop4Gamers is, you know, getting at. A lot of Bear Hugger's friends are cool. I like Alex, he's really cool. I like Coupon. Coupon Strives, and I believe Alex's channel is Active Sin Gaming. Both great YouTubers. But a lot of Bear Hugger's friends are, you know, Nintendo dudes and Microsoft dudes. And it is hard to watch their channels because these are a lot of the guys that come to my channel and 1Stop4Gamers channel, like Deku. I don't know if he's a part of these podcasts. I've never seen him on YouTube. He's somebody I'm supposed to be having a one-on-one on Saturday with. He's going to debate me about my opinion about Nintendo. It should be funny. So look forward to that. But a lot of these dudes that Bear Hugger hangs around with are very, you know, hypocritical. You know, they'll come on my channel because they know that I make responses to Bear Hugger and he makes responses to me. And pretty much they don't like my opinion about Nintendo. You know, some of these dudes, you know, I'll ask Bear Hugger, who's this? You know, he's like, oh, that's my buddy, you know, whatever. You know, for the longest I was trying to figure out who the fuck is this Deku guy? He keeps fucking, you know, leaving these awful, like, comments on my page about my my opinion about Nintendo. And, you know, it's a lot of Bear Hugger's buddies, and they have podcasts, and they sit in there and they talk shit about Sony and joke about Sony, but when you talk about Nintendo or Microsoft, oh man, they fucking lose it. So you're not allowed to do that, but they're allowed to do, you know, talk about Sony. When you look at Sony, the only company that's fucking doing anything this year when it comes to the home console market, and then you got Nintendo that gave you that broken-ass Splatoon that, you know, pretty much, you know, it's not broken, I'm meaning like missing features, half-made game, charging you $60 for a game that really isn't there. You got one game mode. Oh, my bad, they just gave you in DLC some more of your game. They're going to feed it to you in DLC. You got like 5 maps. I don't know if DLC made any more maps. You got the Duck Hunt gun that they gave you in DLC, but literally day one there was nothing to this game, and I'm sure there's nothing to this game right now. But you know, you got no voice chat, nothing. But that's supposedly a great polished game like Nintendo always gives you. Who would have known? But yeah, you got the company like Nintendo has gave you jack shit this year pretty much. But when you go look at Microsoft, it gets a lot worse because you got nothing. I thought they at least got Ori and the Blind Forest, and then I asked Wolflow, I'm talking to Wolflow in messaging one day, or he leaves a comment on my page, and he says that Ori and the Blind Forest is actually on Steam. So what the fuck did Microsoft get? Anything? But supposedly these are the companies that are making moves and doing things, and Sony's just over there doing nothing. You know, Sony's just over there supposedly just picking their nose. You know, when they're actually giving you games like Bloodborne, The Order, you know, and you can't count MLB The Show because that's on other consoles, but, you know, it's on the PS3 and the Vita, but the version that anybody would want would be on the PS4. We can't count all the indies exclusives that we got this year because they're indies. But I noticed when Nintendo gets an indie, it's a great thing, you know, like fucking Shovel Knight. You know, you're allowed to count that, I guess, right? But no, that's on the PS4 now. You know, you follow me on this? But he just had a great video. He pointed out, you know, pretty much the whole thing with the backwards-ass bullshit that goes on with these Nintendo dudes and Microsoft. I'm assuming he was watching, you know, a Nintendo podcast or, you know, a Microsoft podcast. You know, these dudes seem to like Nintendo and Microsoft, and they hate Sony. You know, they just have this vendetta against Sony. And, you know, Sony's really the only company that's doing anything, and I'm pretty sure they're upset that Microsoft and Nintendo are just fucking sitting there with their finger in their nose and their thumb up their ass. But he did go on about how The Witcher 3 is broken on the Xbox One, supposedly, you know, the best version if you would go buy some of these Xbox channels, and it's broken. You know, the PS4 version's working fine, but supposedly the Xbox One version's the best, but it's fucking broken. But yeah, I looked at one of these comments in his comment section by LRM3693. That's the name of his YouTube name. I don't know if he has a channel or anything, but he's in the comment section. And he said, hey, here's a real question. It's a long comment, let me just tell you that. He said, hey, here's a real question. If you're an unbiased gamer who speaks out nothing but the truth about and talk mostly about Xbox One, because you're a Xbox preferred gamer, why have you completely shit on 90% of the time, and even at a time where they put themselves in such a good position to succeed starting out from E3? Now, is this guy talking about last year's E3? Because I don't think he could be talking about last year's E3, because when it really comes down to last year's E3, I think all conferences sucked. You know, supposedly Nintendo won, but what did Nintendo give us this year? They had a great E3, but we didn't get shit this year. We're still waiting on games from the year before at E3, the other E3. So just because, you know, they could show off some games that you're never going to get, it looks like, you know, we're just waiting on forever. You know, I'm sure eventually you'll get them, but that's a great E3. And then Microsoft's E3 last year, I don't think it was any better than Sony's. I don't even think Sony had a great E3. But, you know, and if you're talking about this E3, I mean, just because Microsoft's going around saying, oh, we're going to have the best E3 ever, you know, bigger than any E3 before, but they haven't delivered shit this year, I don't see how they can have the best E3 coming. Because this year is very, you know, sorry, if you ask me, for Microsoft. And then this guy goes on about the whole DirectX 12, you know, and this shit's imaginary. It's kind of like the time when, you know, Nintendo came out with the Wii U, and, you know, nobody knew the power under the hood of the, you know, the Wii U. And then all of a sudden we found out the damn thing ain't much more powerful than the fucking 360 and PS3. And one thing I'll say about the Xbox 360, I mean, in all honesty, in my opinion, which you guys don't like, I think the 360 was a better machine than the Wii U. You actually had voice chat. You actually had simple friends messaging. I mean, I just overall think it was a better machine. You know, the Wii U can't even do half the shit the Xbox 360 was able to do. I guess you could say some of the games' graphics may be better, but I don't know where you're getting that either, because I think there were some games that look better on the 360 than you know, if you look at their versions, you know, of the games that they did have, like Batman Arkham Armored, which, you know, 360 had the version of, you know, Batman Arkham City. You know, it's the Armored Edition versus Arkham City, the regular version. Wasn't much of a difference, you know. Just saying, you know. I think I would take those features over, you know, a little bit better graphics, you know. Just saying. But it's the whole thing with the power under the hood. This whole DirectX 12 is like imaginary shit like that. We found out that the Wii U was not powerful. It was a step above the 360 in graphics, but overall machine, the 360 kicked its ass, and is kicking its ass in my opinion. It's a better machine. But yeah, it's just, the DirectX 12 is very imaginary. It's shit that people want to just believe it's going to be great. It's going to save, you know, the Xbox One. The Xbox One, it is what it is. It's not changing. Nothing's going to make that thing more powerful than it is. Sony's better. The end. You know, it is what it is. Deal with it. Just like last generation. 360 was better than the PS3. You know, I would have to say PS3 had the better exclusives at the end of the year, but overall, the generation of 360 was better. This generation, the PS4, is the 360. Deal with it. And it might even be better, it might even, you know, be the PS2. You know, the way it's selling. It might be the next PS2. Pretty much is the way it's selling. But, you know, a lot of people hate that, but it's factual. It's actually selling as well as the PS2 did, you know, and could possibly be the next PS2. It's better, you know, it's the best console this generation, hands down. It's got the better third party. I would say it has the better exclusives. You know, you got the Wii U people that say, you know, Nintendo has the better exclusives. I can't really, it's an opinion. But if you were to go by sales and numbers, which, you know, Zaire says, women lie, numbers lie. But, you know, no, women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie, or some shit. You know, it is true, you have to go by numbers, and the PS4 is winning. And if I was to go by, you know, ratings and everything, I would say Bloodborne is the better exclusive this year. You know, that's actually a game you would buy a console for. I wouldn't buy a console for fucking Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. You know, I wouldn't buy a console for fucking Mario Party 10. I wouldn't buy a console for Splatoon being broken. You know, or missing features, missing half the game. You know, you guys say you cry about third party missing stuff, that they gave you all these games. Well, you know, third party supposedly gave you all these games that, you know, didn't have, like Sniper Elite V2 or whatever the hell it's called. You guys got that game, you know, and it was missing an online mode or whatever. You guys didn't buy it, but you guys buy Splatoon, okay? Splinter Cell Blacklist was missing local co-op. You guys didn't buy that game, but then you buy Splatoon. You know, do you get what I'm saying? Do you follow me? If Nintendo does it, it's alright, but third party can't do it. Sony can't do it. I don't get it. But that's my video response to 1Stop4Gamers. I'm tired. I just wanted to point this out. He did a great video. Tell me in the comments section what you think. I think he nailed it. I think he was, you know, getting at a good point in the video. I think he, you know, and overall, do you think what I was talking about with the whole thing about how the other fan bases are compared to Sony, or do you think I'm crazy? Do you think Sony's, you know, full of shit? Do you think they're the wrong company? I think Sony's the only one doing something this year. That's why I got a PS4. You know, that's why I'm rolling with the PS4 this year. I am going to get an Xbox One eventually, but I am not supporting the Wii U no more. I'll say one thing about Microsoft. You at least get games, so that's good. It is what it is. More videos to come. Thank you, YouTube.